wait a minute, like this device is made for like a really broad audience, like you are in some sort of game. There is some kind of isolation, and maybe not only separated from others, but also separated from themselves. It feels very uneasy, like her smile is very the glasses are much more immersive. There is much more space that is covering your vision. This new type of reality that we will be having very soon. It's called Idiocracy, and it literally feels like a Black Mirror episode. Maybe in 10 or 20 years when we look back, we would actually miss our smartphone. Hello and welcome, and these are new types of reviews, new types of tech reviews. I think it's going to be a mix of technology, art, and psychology, and also philosophy in this video. And I want to reflect together with you, what does it mean having this new type of device available for us? How is it going to change us? How is it going to affect the new era of new devices, maybe for the upcoming 10, 20 years. I'm not going to include any fancy editing here or any music, any action. I just want to, sit down with you as I would do with a friend of mine and just chit chat a little bit about what's happening on the market and how do I personally feel inside about it. And I'm also curious, how do you feel about it? Do you have any intuition? What does it tell you? And I have a little bit of like a pre-story. A few days ago, I've noticed that the UI, the design of YouTube in my browser has changed. And it changed like by a lot. The colors, the shapes, the transparency. And I was curious, I was wondering, what was it about? Was it about maybe the glasses that Google are going to announce? Was it about maybe some VR set or something that it relates to this type of products? It has this transparency. Some of the buttons or the windows or the elements or the blocks are a little bit like transparent, and it feels like it's this company is preparing for a big shift. So I was listening to my intuition, and my next step was what I did. I asked ChatGPT to tell me if there are any announcements planned by Google. What are they preparing for? Why did they change the design suddenly? And to be honest, it didn't give me any answer at all. Like there was no information about this new device, which is Galaxy XR, we are going to talk about soon. What ChatGPT mentioned was something like, the company had this old design for around 10 years, and they kind of have been working on this new design, and that's why they've changed it. The time has come, and it didn't really give me any answers about the upcoming XR headset release, and I kind of felt like, okay, that's what it is, and I kind of moved on with my day. And a few days later, what I see is that the Galaxy XR released. First, it was like a 2-3 minutes video. It was like a video ad, basically. Many things were presented there. I felt like when I watched it, my immediate reaction was that, wait a minute, like this device is made for like a really broad audience, and it's just my impression, right? It's a subjective view that they really target Generation Z, Gen Z. And so why do they do this? I think because this audience is young, and they are easily influenced by being cool, being relevant, trying something new, also maybe separating themselves from the previous generation, right? Like if you are a millennial, you are used to your phone, and if you are a boomer, you're used to a TV. And so Gen Z are going to be, Gen Z, they are experiencing the full effect of technology. Technology has been with them for their entire life. So they are in a way easier influenced than other generations where, others had technology much later in life. So there is a little bit of separation still between me and technology, while for Generation Z, for Gen Z, it's just normal to use it daily since, the day they were born. So I think this ad video was put together and it looked in a bit like a game, like you are in some sort of game. And you see people in this ad, but they are separated. They are not together in one room. They are in different rooms and they are exploring this new device on their own, seeing what it could bring. One is like in the basketball kind of game, another one is interacting with a Korean game, trying to learn more about it, and there is some kind of isolation. It feels uneasy, and when they put devices, they look very happy, they look very excited, they look overly excited about the virtual world that is almost like a fantasy, and they experience this totally different reality, completely separated, and maybe not only separated from others, but also separated from themselves. And that's kind of scary. And so now we are entering a little bit of uncanny valley feeling, where it looks real, but it looks very uneasy and like unsettling and really uncomfortable. And later I watched another type of video, which is like a demo video of this device where a person is invited into Samsung store to try this new device. And there is another person who is like guiding him through that experience. And my first reaction was that the person who is welcoming us as viewers, welcoming another person, a potential client, in the store, it feels very uneasy. Like her smile is very unnatural, and I have nothing against her. I mean, maybe she was just stressed. We don't know what was happening behind the scenes, right? Maybe she was working under not very good conditions, or maybe she had like a difficult manager guiding the scene, the filming process, but her smile feels really uneasy, and she's like welcoming us as viewers with this uneasy, uncanny valley smile, and almost like welcoming us into, like, we are entering this new era that is almost like that smile. And it literally feels like a Black Mirror episode. And again, like, no one can really predict the future, how it's going to play out, how this technology is going to affect us. But somehow I had a feeling that maybe in 10 or 20 years, when we look back, we would actually miss our smartphone. We could actually, smartphone is not that big, right? The screen size, we can always put it in our pocket. We can always put it somewhere else. Like, it's very addicting, right? Addictive, but the glasses are much more immersive. There is much more space that is covering your vision, and there is also eye tracking. It is already difficult to kind of not use your phone that often, and you imagine that you have to take off these glasses, this AR or XR headset that you have been using for some time, and then you kind of come back to your regular life, your physical world, where you have to know when to stop and when to use this device and for what reason. But what I've seen in this ad is that it's heavily targeted young users. And I started watching this movie. I started watching it yesterday. It's called Idiocracy. It's produced in 2006. I don't know if you have seen it, but this movie was recommended by Andrew Carpathy, and his recent interview, he's really very good at explaining what AI is without any hype. He's really a professional in this field, and he was someone who was a part of OpenAI. And he suggested, he watched this movie, and for him, it's very kind of important, right? It's in one of his values that we as humanity don't end up like in that movie Idiocracy. but we can benefit from technology instead of becoming more dependent on it and kind of like more dumb. And I mean, I am very excited about new tech. I'm also kind of bored using my smartphone. I really want to try something new. I think these XR devices are going to be extremely popular. People are willing to spend money on it. They are just bored, right? They want something new. They want something exciting in their lives. And so this is a very important chapter in this video where I want to reflect together with you this new type of reality that we will be having very, very soon or already having. This reality is sold to us, and we are watching this new content, new types of content, very immersive, very stimulating, very entertaining. And what actually happens to us inside. Yesterday I watched a lecture on the channel. Is called Predictive History, and the person mentioned that money is the new type of religion these days, and that's kind of the only or one of the only meanings that we have in life, to kind of work and like spend what we have learned, what we have earned on material stuff, and there is not much meaning behind it. There is not much spiritual space for growth. What if we don't need this device? What if we can live a fulfilling and beautiful life and meaningful life without this technology? Or maybe we can still use it, but maybe we use it not very often. We don't use it for entertainment. We go outside, we connect with nature, we connect with our friends, we create something, we make art, we make love. I want to read a few comments for you that I saw that someone has left under the video. Feels like the beginning of a Black Mirror episode. Another one said, "Hey Gemini, turn on incognito mode." I think this one was really funny. Because people watch different type of content online, right? It's not just YouTube and Netflix. I wonder, it's a little bit cringe. So I wonder what do you think about this new device and these type of new mixed reality devices that are coming? Are you excited? Are you scared? What do you think this impact would be on us, on our society, on our culture? And if you haven't seen my previous video, I'm curious what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, if you watched it until the end, my channel is totally new and it's not very easy to kind of navigate this YouTube. So if you want to support it, please give this video a like, and hope to see you soon. Bye.